I was dying. Me
Oh yeah.
personally, I
Oh
was
yeah.
dying.
Oh,
I remember
100%.
laying on my parents' house, and I was like, I couldn't. My whole body ached. I was miserable.
Welcome back, guys. We're so excited to have you again in our podcast. I am Denice and Cereceres, and I'm here with my amazing husband.
Jose Cereceres, welcome. Thank you for coming back for our second episode.
Yes, so mindset and wealth, where we talk about all the things mindset and everything that follows after. So I know last time you guys got a snippet of all the the intentions that we have of doing this podcast together. Today we're going to focus on a really really interesting topic, which is one of my absolute favorites, and it's our morning routine. So Jose, do you want to give us a little bit of an insight of what we do in our mornings?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the first thing is we start with meditation, like
Yeah.
10-minute meditation. After we do the meditation, we go to the gym. Coming back from the gym, we started with journaling. After journaling, we go into the chaos
I
of
know.
having our kids. We wake up the kids, we get them ready for school. We start prepping food, prepping this, and it's screaming, yelling, and everything else in between. We take them to school. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's me, and then after that, we go to work. The funny thing is that obviously this routine that we have today, that's not how it started, and definitely not how
No.
we used to do things.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do things very separate, and it has changed to finally, I think, so far, this routine that we have today has worked probably the best compared to the previous routines. So yeah, I love it so far. It's been great. We just made a little tweak in regards to like the meditation because we used to meditate after the workout. It was not great for me because I was still so much into the pre-workout and come back and try to meditate. It was not flowing too well, so that's why I went, okay, let's try to do this before we go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I think it so far for me has worked great. I don't know, how do you think?
No, I am loving our new routine. And it's always going to be evolving because we're always going to be in a different stage in our life. Um, One of the reasons how we start our morning is so crucial is because, quite honestly, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. We had heard this from many of our mentors like, hey, make sure you start your day with meditation. And God knows I could not meditate for the life of me. I'm like, I cannot do that. Like, my brain just doesn't function that way. But I think little by little, setting the intention of, giving the opportunity to just give that time to yourself has completely changed the way we start our day, because our day could be very chaotic, whether it's getting the kids ready to school or conflict resolution right away because we both carry high stress jobs. Having that morning routine is my absolute favorite, and it's also the time where I get you, for me, 100%. Because what do we do now? What time do we get up, Jose?
4 o'clock in the morning.
And a lot of people think that's crazy, but we used
A little
to.
bit.
Well, I know we're still a little crazy, but we used to go to the gym after we dropped off the kids to school, and it did not work, guys. That's when the emails started coming in. That's when the phone calls started coming in, and we couldn't 100% devote our time to our workout. Whereas now at 4 in the morning, a lot of people can't. Like, they just cannot get up at 4. So we're not getting those emails. We're not getting the phone calls. And I don't know. It just creates this like intimacy between you and I, where it's just you and I at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember when we used to go to the gym like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and an email came through that it was like a fire, right?
Yeah.
And it just blew off completely. I had to deal with it at that moment, and then having to try to come back to do the routine, it was just like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I waited for you sometimes. Or sometimes I say, hey, let's just go,
Yeah.
because obviously, at that time, people were already calling, emailing, texting, and everything else. So definitely going in the morning is best for us, best for me, and it has worked. But now, why are we talking about morning
Morning
routines?
routine.
And I can tell you one thing: everybody has a morning routine. You
Yeah.
do, believe it or not. You have your routine. Maybe you just wake up and get your kids ready to go to school, or maybe you wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you have no kids, then you wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to go to work at 12. Whatever the case might be, you have a routine already, right? Now, the question that you should be asking yourself is this routine helping me at all?
Yeah.
Is this morning routine that I have that is really helps me set the tone for the entire day? Or, is it really working for me or not? Is it positive? Is it not? I think that's the question that everybody should be asking, is like, hey, what is this routine that I currently have? Whether you
Yeah.
think that you don't, you do. Does it really help me for the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And we're gonna break it down so that you guys understand why it's so important for us, why it's worked, like the meditation, the journaling, and the workout. So I think with starting the meditation, you get to disconnect before your brain starts going, right? So that's why I know meditation could be very difficult for a lot of people, but when you have the ability to silence your brain for just 10 minutes. We go on YouTube, there's two people that we listen, and I always ask them, do you want the boy or the girl? It's simple as that. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to sit for 30 minutes. We are doing 10 minutes right now, and eventually we want to develop, higher. But what it does to your nervous system, it just literally kind of rewires your brain a little bit. It gives it the peace that you need because our brains are constantly going, going, and going. So meditation. How did you develop the skill set to get to be able to sit still for 10 minutes, Jose?
Well, I'm still on the challenge. I'm still challenging of that, and it could be sometimes there's a day where I just can't quiet my mind. Right? It could be difficult, but I think what it is for me is we went to a class not long ago that really helped
Yeah.
us, see and understand, and what things you can do, what things you can concentrate, the phrases that you can say to yourself to
Yes.
help you, like quiet the mind. But more importantly, I think is a time of reflection, and that's the biggest thing that it has worked for me is to reflect, to hold still, to try to concentrate on a specific point in your mind, or on you have your eyes closed, so you concentrate your mind on a point, and then just let your mind quiet.
Yeah.
Be quiet for a minute, try to relax. If you start, what has worked for me is to start listening to my body, to concentrate on the area of my body. So I start with my head, my face first, and just feel my head, what I'm feeling in that particular area. I'm listening to any sounds outside, and then I go down to my chest, and then I go to my arms, and then just try to feel my body, and that helps me quiet everything else. That's been so far what has worked for me, and it really gives me a lot of peace, controlled situation. And then I start listening to the sound of the person. Oh, not the sound. I'm sorry. I'm listening to the voice of the person who's guiding the meditation, and just try to listen to their guidance as well. And it's been working.
Yeah. And I would suggest, guys, if you are new to meditation, there's a lot of YouTube videos that you can listen. I don't know why. Apparently I YouTube a lot. That's my application of choice. But there's guided meditation, because we've also tried doing the meditation where you're just listening to music. And that's where I'm like, hey, did I load the laundry? Hey, did I, forget to do this or file that? So when you listen to somebody and you can really focus on their voice, and they're directing you on how to feel your body. Because believe it or not, I don't think a lot of us know how to feel our bodies. We know how to operate from the mind, but we just don't know how to connect with our bodies. And it's a beautiful experience just with yourself. And it's for 10 minutes. I mean, you can scroll on social media for 10 minutes. If you could do that,
Yeah.
you could sit with yourself for 10 minutes. So again, meditation, if you have the ability to do that in the morning, your body and your nervous system will greatly, greatly appreciate it. So then after we do our meditation, we head on to the gym. And the gym, oh my gosh, I love the gym. And it's honestly, it's not even about the appearance. The appearance is just an added benefit to it. It's, again, time with myself to challenge myself. And I would be lying to you if I said I enjoy doing the workouts. Absolutely not. We just started doing a new coaching program with Vincent, and I don't know if you guys know how much effort it takes to burn 250 calories on a treadmill or any cardio of choice. I had no idea. So now when I'm reading the label and it says it's 100 calories, I'm like, that is like that is that's a lot, because I about died when I did what was it, the Stairmasters, remember, for 15 minutes. I'm like, there's no way, and I only burned like 150 calories anyway. But that feeling you get after you put in the work, after you release the tension, after you've made the time to make your body stronger, oh my God, it's what is it called, endorphins, right? So then after that, we drive back home and we start doing our journaling. So your mind, you already gave your nervous system a time to relax, and then you did your thing with your body. So now your body has been taken care of, your mind has been taken care of, and it's ready to sit in and really manifest on that gratitude journal. So do you want to share the gratitude journal?
Well, before that, let's go back to the gym. I was thinking when you were talking about you remember the first time we did? They actually, well, I've been to the gym many times before, right? Yeah. But never with the intention that we've been doing it for the last 3 to 4 years. Do you remember the first time we did it?
I was so lost. I was so lost. Yeah.
We went to Mexico. I don't know if you recall, but literally the first time we actually went to the gym, that we went into the coaching program, we went to the gym and I was dying. Personally, I was dying.
Oh, 100%.
I remember laying on my parents' house, and I was like, my whole body ached. I was miserable. One of my friends back in the day is like, hey man, if I can go to the gym one time and get the body that everybody has, I would do it. That's why I don't go to the gym, he said. It's like, I understand the feeling because it's a lot of work. And sure enough, like the first week for me was probably the most difficult.
Yeah.
And the first couple of days were a lot of pain. But now, after doing it for so many years, it's not that I have a huge body or anything like that, but it definitely fills me up. When I don't go to the gym, it feels different. I don't feel the same energy. I don't feel the same thing. So it's definitely helps me quite a lot to get going on the day by doing that, by going to the gym and start practicing and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, guys, if you are not comfortable with the machines, because I remember when I went to the gym the first time, I was so intimidated. Like, I did not know how to operate a machine. I didn't even know if I was doing it right. There's a lot of YouTube. Okay. YouTube is not paying me for this, I promise, but I go to YouTube for everything. But there's a lot of workouts you could do on YouTube, because now that you take me back there, I hated it at the beginning, because I saw all these people be pros, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to lift that much. There's no way I'm going to make my body look that, because I was just making sure that I was doing my workout the right way, where I wouldn't like injure myself or literally trip on my face, because I didn't know how to do it. It gets better, guys. It gets better. Now I can show up to the gym and I know probably how to use 75% of the equipment, because I got out of my comfort zone and I am there with me. And I promise you, the people that go to the gym, they're not watching you. They could care less on how you're doing, what your body looks like, if your posture is fine. They are so into their own little situation that they don't really care what you're doing. And I thought everyone was watching me and probably making fun of me at the beginning. No one cares. Just go do it.
Yeah, I remember going to the gym and seeing these people who've been doing it for a while, and you can see their bodies obviously, and you feel a little intimidated by them, right? And, they're lifting 55, 60s, and I was lifting the 5s and the 10s. And it was like, wow, they're probably laughing at me or something. In reality, they can care less. They're doing their own thing. And it's not they don't care not to care. Simply they just concentrate. Yeah, they're concentrated on their own things. So don't feel bad about the way you feel or the way you think you look or anything like that, because it's not about that. And definitely people are not there to put attention to that. So yeah, no, that's definitely something that at the beginning I had to put my mind at ease. Yeah. To about those situations. But yeah.
Yeah. And it, again, we go back. It's not about our bodies. For us, it's more about the benefit that we get after we come after the gym. And now after the gym, we come and we do our gratitude journals. Jose has been joining me to do the gratitude journals probably for the last, maybe 10 months.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful. There is something that happens to your brain when you actually write it down. Our mindset has the ability, just remember this, guys, our mindset is what builds our life. We get to design our own life. That's how powerful God made us. We can literally, if we could see it, if you guys have ever seen The Secret or read the book The Secret, if our mind can see it, then it can come a reality. So when you take the time to design your morning, we have very detailed journals that we always fall back to, but we're very intentional on what we write, whether it's affirmations, which affirmations could be things such as I am powerful, I am successful, I am worthy, I am beautiful, all the beautiful things. That's the time to give yourself those empowering words, right? And then I always like to add 3 things you're grateful for. What are 3 things that happened in the last 24 hours that made you and brought you joy? And then the other thing that we do is we're very intentional on how much money we want to make. You can literally make all the money that you want. And I remember when I started doing it and I actually saw that I was seeing the results, I'm like, there's not a number, there's not a thing that you can't write about that cannot come true, right? So that's how we do it. Like if you guys ever want us to get a little bit more detailed on what we do on the journaling, you cannot get it right. It's your life. It's your desires. You can't get it right because you get to design it. Wouldn't you agree? What do you think as far as journaling, babe? Like what has worked for you?
No, yeah, absolutely. I think it has to do with the positive mind, right? So if you think that you can accomplish something and you tell yourself all the time, oh, I can't do that, I can't do that, then you're right. You won't. And you're right either way. So if you say, hey, I can't do that, you're right. You can. But if you say, I can't, well, I'm sorry if I can't understand my can and can'ts. But if you say, I cannot do this, then you're right. You cannot do that. But if you say, yes, I can, then you will and you're right. So you're right either way. But it's your positive mind that has a lot of power to say, you know what, I can't do this. And I'm going to work towards it. Of course, you cannot just hope and pray and something's going to come to your way. Yeah. You have to put work into, you have to put it in action, but starts with you saying, you know what, I can do that. Let me do this. You know, when I, many years ago, I went through school, I was going for an analysis system and programming. And then when I was going to college, I went to work. I was a sales associate at AutoZone, and my boss used to tell me, hey, you gotta sell this, you gotta sell that. And it's like, I'm not a salesperson. That's not for me. Till I don't know what he said, and he used to say a lot of things to me every single day, that it clicked on me. And I don't remember, I think it was something that he really helped me. He got me really motivated, and it switched something on me, and I started doing it, and I become the best salesperson in that store by far, and very good on his district as well. And it's all because I switched my mindset in that moment. You know, it's like, hey, I told you, I know you could. And it's not so much about anything else, but you ability to think that you can and you will, and then obviously push yourself to do that, right? Yeah. So that mindset has a lot to do with it. So again, if you say you cannot do something, you're right. Yeah. But if you say you can do something, then you're also right. Yeah. So I think that has the positive mind has to do with it. So doing the journaling, going back to the journaling, right? Yeah. So obviously when you write those things, when you write the affirmations, when you write what you want to create for yourself, if you believe on that, that's gonna take on, and obviously put the work. You know, don't just put it on paper. Put get working right away. But you have your mind into, okay, this is what I want to create for me. I want to create for my family. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that I can say is that you want to come back and think about your why. You know, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. Why I'm putting myself through this. And if your why is big enough, it's going to take you there. Yeah. It's going to push you there. If your why, or you have not understand what your why is, then it's not going to take you there, you know? Yeah.
You know something, now that you mentioned the why, something that has really worked for me also when I'm journaling, I feel the feels. Like I feel the emotions. Feel the feels? I feel the emotions. That's what I meant. Oh, okay. But I feel the emotions, right? So if I'm writing that I'm energized, I write I'm energized, right? And then my affirmations. If I'm writing I'm beautiful, for some reason, like even my posture changes. When I'm like I'm powerful, I feel. Oh, thank you, baby. If I am writing that I am powerful, I feel stronger. So if you have the capability of playing with it a little bit, what you write, if you somehow try to feel that feeling or that emotion, I think it's like 10 times more powerful. That has really worked for me. Do you do that when you write? Do you feel what you're writing?
So funny you thinking that. You were saying that. I'm sorry. Not long ago, we went with Danny, right, to Inner Circle, and he brought a guy who was talking about writing a story, writing your story of
Yeah.
how we, and it was so simple when he was talking. I want you guys to write the story about you guys coming here. And
Yeah.
what do you guys have to do, the struggles that you have to do to be here, anything you had to accomplish or overcome
Yeah.
to come to this trip, to come to this place. And we start writing, and and then he brought two people to the stage, and it's like, okay, he got affirmations out of that story. So by writing the story, you're writing all the things that you had accomplished and the things that you had to do or anything you had to overcome. You bring affirmations out of that. I think that was so powerful because sometimes we read an affirmation, books of affirmations, and you take, I like this affirmation, and you say it, but it takes a lot of repetition for you to
Yes.
believe it. And sometimes you don't even believe that affirmation. You're just saying it because someone told you to say that affirmation. Uh, but if you come up with this, not come up with the story. If you write a story of what you have done or what you have done to accomplish something, you're gonna find affirmations that are related to you, and
Yes.
they're gonna be so relatable to you because they were driven out of a story of something that you did, something that you create, or something that you accomplish, or even the struggles that you had to go to where you needed to be. So I think that's super powerful. I think that's something I share that with my team right away. It's like, hey, write a story and write what your story of a day or a struggle or something that you had to overcome. And inside of that story, you can find those affirmations that
Yeah.
speaks about you. So for instance, if you had I think one of the ladies was, she she was making sure that her son was good, was taken care of, right?
Yeah.
So everything that she had to do to ensure that he was going to be well taken care of
Yeah.
while she was gone to this trip,
Yeah.
it was part of that story. And that means that I am a good mother.
She is a good
and
mother.
and that was the affirmation, and it was so powerful to her.
Yeah.
Because, and she even started crying about that, and we all felt it. We all
Yeah.
felt it, and she did. She sure as hell did everything that she could
Yeah.
to be able to make that happen, right? So that was so powerful. So I think that's if you don't think about affirmations in the same way, or you're like, hey, how can I get started? I think creating that story or writing a story of something that you went through can help you get those affirmations out.
You know what I just thought about too, as you're saying that, something that is very good too is the prophecy letter that you guys did at PAC with PAC Realty, and what's really interesting about that prophecy letter is that you're writing your letter to yourself for the next 12 months, right? What is it that is going on with your life in the next 12 months? So you can incorporate that prophecy letter in your journaling. Like you can continue to write the same thing. And maybe depending on where you're in life, because, right now I'm in a certain stage, but if I already overcame something that was holding me back, maybe my prophecy letter is going to be a little bit different. But writing has really, really impacted my goal setting and actually getting to that goal. Because when I remind myself every morning what I am doing, I can have obstacles come my way, but I'm like, don't lose sight of what you're going for, because I can easily quit. I mean, not easily quit, but I can probably do other things, not real estate, right? And God knows that last 2 to 3 years haven't been easy. But because I remind myself what the ultimate goal is, and I am writing what I want from life from the get-go in the morning, I tend to attract those situations that align with my vision. And that is so powerful, to be able to write a prophecy letter and dream big, because your mind does not know the difference.
Shoot
Your
for the moon.
mind-
What is it? Shoot for the stars and get to the moon.
And get to the moon. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So dream big, prophecy letter. Maybe we should hold a prophecy letter, like little workshop or something. But that's how I would start writing. But that in my opinion, that's why also the gratitude journal is so important for our morning routine. And yes, after that, the kids wake up and then chaos happens and, but we're a little bit better equipped because we've already given our time for our nervous system, our body to relax. And then we set the intention for the day on that gratitude journal.
No, absolutely. I think that's the key part in there. First of all, to give yourself the time for yourself to meditate, to do something to nurture your body, to work for yourself, to do something for you first and foremost, right? Because sometimes we are always giving, which is not a bad thing, but you also have to take the time to do something for yourself first and foremost. And how powerful it is to incorporate that on your morning routine, work on yourself, work on betterment yourself, and then from there, the day will start, and you're gonna have a much better day when you do that.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say earlier today, don't get the rest of you, right? Because we come to home, right? And our families get the rest of us, right? Like what's rest out of the day, right? Because we already finished our day. But in the morning is when you really could give the best of yourself to yourself. In the morning is when you can give the best of yourself from the start. Because at the end of the day, if you're giving yourself fumes at the end of the day, and that goes for your family too. I don't know why I thought about that right now, but I know that everyone has different schedules and, they can actually only go to the gym in the evenings. I'm not saying don't go to the gym in the evenings, but if you can incorporate the meditation and the manifestation aligned with the gratitude journal, do that. It doesn't take long, guys. I think that, again, the meditation takes 10 minutes and the gratitude journal takes 15 minutes. If you can give yourself 30 minutes in the morning, you're good.
And you're right. I do know a lot of people who like to go to the gym in the afternoons, and I think that's great.
Yeah, everyone works different.
You have to do, what's right for you. And if that time or you feel better to do that in the afternoon, more power to you. You can still incorporate something for your morning routine to start your day the right way.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's part of your afternoon routine. That's great. I tried it. Obviously my body was not ready for that. Yeah. So I think the morning is definitely the best one for me, but I do know a lot of people who definitely like the afternoon going to the gym, and that's great. I think going to the gym whatever time you can is the right thing to do. So morning, afternoon, midday, whatever works for you. Obviously, I know people who work overnight, so they're working at the time that I'm going to the gym, so they can't do that, or they work late in the afternoon. So obviously, you gotta find what works for you, right?
Correct.
But definitely incorporating something to your morning routine. And another thing that it has worked, and I've been implementing this lately. I'm still working on it. One of my coaches tell me this is to set everything for your morning routine the day prior to. So get everything ready, get some of the stuff ready so where you can just go on quickly and get working on your day right away, right? So look at your next day. What are you going to do for the next day? What things you can prep for the next day? As an example, have your clothes ready for the gym. Have your kids' clothes ready for the next day. Yeah. Things that you can do to accelerate your morning to where you're not wasting time looking for your clothes. Where's my socks? Where's this? Where's that? If it's all ready for you on the morning, you can just move on through quickly, better, more efficient, and start your day in a much better tune.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add? Because I think we're getting ready to wrap up here.
No, I think that, that's for us. That's the morning routine that we have. We can talk about the chaos if you want to talk about the chaos.
No. I think that's it. Guys, thank you so much. I think that wraps up our second episode of Mindset and Wealth.
Mindset and Wealth. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us for our second episode. Hopefully you guys stay on to the very end. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe down below.
Thank you so much again, guys, for watching till the end. Please make sure to follow us on your favorite platform of social media. And tune in for our next episode of Mindset and Wealth, where we help one another build an empire.